Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building a fall family house. At least I built it in fall. It's not that it's very fall themed. I didn't add like a bunch of fall decorations like pumpkins and those sorts of things around, but I tried to stick to fall colors and building in the season of fall. So hopefully you guys will like it. It's a pretty large family house that has a swimming pool, a swing set, a couple of like planter boxes, a garage. There's 4 bedrooms, a bedroom for a couple of parents, 1 or 2 parents, it doesn't matter, and a toddler, a teenager, and a child. You could fit 2 teenagers in the teens room or 2 children if you preferred that, because there is bunk beds, but I was thinking it was just a single teen that happens to have bunk beds. So yeah, hopefully you guys are gonna like this house. I think it ends up being super cute and really cozy, and I just really enjoyed building in the fall season. I really can't remember the last time I did it. Maybe actually it was shortly after Cottage Living was released. I think I built in fall in that world, but it's so pretty. I especially love it here in Willow Creek, and this is one of my favorite lots to build on. This is like the standard starter neighborhood in Willow Creek, and this lot is I think it's a 30 by 40 if I remember correctly, but the BFF household lives here, and I of course moved them out. I bulldozed their home and built this house in its place, and I just think it looks really nice here, and this lot is just, I don't know, really fun for me to build on. I especially like the lighting and stuff on this lot. I don't know if you guys will agree, but maybe if you're builders, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, here I'm making the garage, and I used the tool mod a ton to kind of resize objects and make things a little bit easier. I am absolutely loving that mod. I am so happy that I finally downloaded it and have familiarized myself with it, because it has made so many things possible and so much easier, and I love it. If you guys are still not sure if you should download it, you should. If you like building, it'll make your life so much easier. Even if you don't like building and you just like adding like personal decorations in your Sims homes, I think it could come in handy. So yeah, definitely check it out. I will have it linked in the description if you guys are interested. You can find it there. But here in the driveway, I did place a pickup. I thought that would look really nice. And then I also used that picket fence that we got from, I think it came from Backyard Stuff. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's the pack it came with. But I just thought it looked really nice in this orangey wood tone. It felt very fall to me, and I just haven't used the picket fences enough, and I think it's a really nice fence. And so I used it here, and also in a build that I have coming up, I used it also. And then I also built another suburban home that's similar to this one, but it's base game only, because recently we got an update to base game. This one I built before the update. But we got all sorts of new colors for a bunch of the curtains and base game windows and tons of just random base game items. And so I do have a base game only build coming up very soon, and that house is also green. And I did not realize it until I started editing the footage to this build, and I was like, oh, I have 2 green houses that are both like the same style coming up. But I mean, that one's base game and this one is not, so hopefully it's not too repetitive. But for some reason, when I was building that one, I had in my mind that I made this house blue. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. So yeah, there will be 2 green suburban houses coming up very soon. I also have a build coming up in what is that world? Hemford on Bagley, and I'm very, very excited about that build. I think it's so cute, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that one. It's a very cottagey sort of farm build. And then I also finished an apartment. I'm trying to get a bit ahead of my schedule because I had a setback. As you guys probably know, if you've been listening to my last few voiceovers, I switched from my office into our spare bedroom, and for some reason, the whole moving process screwed everything up, and so I got set back on recording, and so now I'm just trying to get a collection, get ahead, and so I've been recording a ton, and I'm just having so much fun with it. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to all of those builds, and I definitely have more planned. And if you guys have any ideas or suggestions of things that you would like to see, or families you want me to build stuff for, you can always leave them in the comments or message me on Twitter or something like that. But anyways, here I'm working on the landscaping. I had a lot of fun with the landscaping on this build. I used, of course, live edit objects everywhere because the live edit objects plants are just so much better than the regular build and buy catalog plants. Let me know if you guys agree with me. I know I've mentioned this so many different times, but the textures are so much better, the colors are better, and there's just such a good variety, and I love them. And thanks to the Better Build and Buy, which is another mod by Twisted Mexi that I'm using. I'm using it in combination with the tool mod so I can use the tool mod in build mode. In case you guys aren't familiar with that, if you just have the tool mod by itself, then you have to use it in live mode. But if you have Better Build and Buy, you can use it in build mode. And with the Better Build and Buy, it organizes the debug menu and all like the live edit object stuff, so you can find them a lot easier. At first, I didn't find it easier. I found it kind of confusing just because I was so used to doing it the other way, by searching everything at once, but Twisted Mexi has gone through and like reorganized everything. So it's so cool, and it makes so much more sense now that I'm comfortable with it. So if you guys like have downloaded it before and maybe were not really sure where everything is, then just try it again or watch their tutorials. Actually, I watched Twisted Mexi's tutorials and I found it very helpful and very informative because it cleared up a lot of my questions, and I should have watched them in the first place. So yeah, definitely check that out if you guys haven't already. But back here by the swimming pool, I do have an outdoor dining table, some lounge chairs. I end up placing a swing set out here, and I also placed one of the swimming floaties that came from Seasons. And it's so cute. I used it in the red color. It just felt very fall to me using it in a red color. I was trying to pick colors throughout this whole build that reminded me of fall. That's why the house is green, and I'm using like orangey wood colors, and the truck is orange. And yeah, I just think it looks really nice. Over here, I really like this area. I have like a nice garden space. The way I have the fences now, I don't leave them. I end up doing something similar, but I remove them here in just a moment. But I place a few planter boxes. I end up using the ones that came from Outdoor Retreat just because they look more like rustic, and that's kind of more of the theme with this house. It's not super rustic, but it's kind of like a mix between rustic, modern, and traditional, like a hybrid of those things. But yeah, I felt like these planter boxes worked really nicely, and actually with the brand new base game update, we got a ton more colors to the base game planter boxes and the little planter pots. So that's not really something I ever thought about needing too much. But now that I have it, I'm very excited about it. So yeah, like I was saying, in the build that I do have coming up that's going to be base game only, I will be using a lot of that stuff. But you won't see it here, but I want to talk about it because it's one of the best updates we've had in a very long time, just because it adds so many swatches to base game items, like the base game counters. And they're just things that we have needed more colors for way too long. And I'm so happy that they were finally added. It's very exciting. But yeah, this is what I ended up doing with this space. I think it looks really nice. I love these archways that came from Cottage Living. They're so pretty, and these ones are like fall colors because it has like the orange flowers, and it just looks so pretty, and it just fit there so nicely in my opinion. And yeah, I just really adored it. But yeah, over here by the swing set, I end up placing a dollhouse. I forgot what it was called for a moment, but I placed a dollhouse just to have another activity for your kids to do, or your toddlers. There's also the building block station, or I'm not sure what you call that exactly, but that little building block thing, it's out by the outdoor dining table. But here I'm just decorating the outdoor dining table with a few decorations. There's also a barbecuer out here, and then I add some lights to the swimming pool, which I think looks really nice. And then here on the back porch, I do have a seating area. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do back here, but I placed these couches that came from Seasons in this orange color, and I thought they looked perfect for like a fall themed build. And then on this table, I just decorate it with a couple of just simple decorations that we got from Paranormal Stuff. I believe both of those came from, yes, the plant and the tray with like the teapot and little cups came from that pack, and they're so cute. That stuff pack is so good. I'm not sure about like the paranormal gameplay whatsoever because, well, I never do any gameplay, but I missed the release of that pack because I was on maternity leave, and so I just kind of missed all of the talk and stuff about it, and I still haven't played around with it because I never make any time for gameplay. But the build stuff is awesome. I really like pretty much all of it. But yeah, here on the front porch, I used that chair that came from Laundry Day, and I used that new cushion that came with the refresh to Spa Day, and I used it as like a little like pillow cushion. It's actually a meditation stool, but I used the tool mod to rotate it and to elevate it so it looks more like a throw pillow, and I think it looks super cute on that chair. But here I'm just adding some flooring to the roof so I can add a roof trim just to add a bit more dimension to the house and make it look a little bit more interesting. I just felt like it needed a little bit of like something extra, and so yeah, I thought that looked pretty nice. And I had to replace the little dormer windows in the chimney. For some reason, adding all that made those disappear. Sometimes the game is a little bit picky when it comes to like adding flooring and wallpaper. It will just make objects disappear, and those are definitely one of them that disappears really easily. But here I'm moving on to the interior. So the floor plan actually took me a little while to figure out. I actually had another attempt or two at the floor plan before this one, and it was not working out. I was kind of confused. I wanted it to feel pretty open and spacious and pretty modern, but I didn't want it to be a similar floor plan that I've done before, because I feel like in a lot of my suburban homes, the floor plans tend to look the same and can feel kind of similar. So I really tried to make it different, and the other two builds that I was talking about, I really tried to do the same in those ones too. So I'm trying to experiment a little bit and trying to do something that still makes sense but feels different than I normally do. So yeah, hopefully you guys will agree. But I think especially like the living room area, how it has the big sliding glass door, just feels very open and kind of modern and just airy in some way. So I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, on the first floor, there's a kitchen, living room area. There's a dining room, like a full-on formal dining room with a large table that has like 8 seats at it. There's of course the garage, and then there's 2 bathrooms just because I had the space for it. I don't normally put 2 bathrooms on the first floor unless there's a bedroom, but I had the space for it, so I figured it couldn't hurt, because really in this house you could have a really large family. You could probably fit 8 Sims if you would like to. Like I think I have room in this build for 6 Sims, but honestly you could add another set of bunk beds in one of the other rooms easily and have 8 Sims here, or you could add a couple of pets and then that would fill your 8 Sim household requirements. But yeah, that's it for the first floor. And then for the second floor, there are 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So this is a 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom house. Yeah. And of course there's the garage space. So you could easily turn that into a bedroom if you really needed the space, or like a home office, or like add all sorts of skill building items in there. In the garage, I did add a few skill building items, but I more wanted it to feel like a garage. But there is the washer and dryer in there. There's also the woodworking table, and then there's just decor other than that. And I also put a car in the garage, which I thought was super fun, because I think normally when I build a garage, I typically just put garage clutter in there, or things that I think could belong in a garage, but I don't normally put a car. So yeah, this time I decided to. But anyways, over here is going to be the kitchen. I decided to go with these counters and cabinets that came from Jungle Adventure. I almost called it Jungle Living. There's too many things with living in the title that I think it's easy to call other packs living or put it in their title. But yeah, I thought they looked really nice in here. And for some reason, when I was adding the kitchen wallpaper, it was deleting and dropping the items on the outdoor coffee table. I don't know why it was doing that. I felt like that was very strange, and I don't think I've experienced that before necessarily. But thankfully I caught it and I was able to fix it, because I hate when something gets deleted and then you don't realize it till you're going to take the screenshots, or you never realize it and then you place it later and you're wondering what happened to an item. But yeah, thankfully I caught it, so hopefully you guys won't have any problems if you download it from the gallery. But anyways, over here I'm adding a few decorations, and I do something that I think looks really cool, and I actually got the idea from another YouTuber that I've been watching recently that you guys definitely should check out. She actually merged this decorative bowl, I forget which pack it came with, but with a base game fruit pot, and the channel's name is Julia Builds. I might be saying her name wrong, but I'll put her name up here on screen so you guys can see it. Definitely check out her builds. They're amazing. She's very talented, and she's one of the builders that actually got me curious about using the latest version of the tool mod, because she's very creative with it, and I just highly recommend that you guys check her out. So I will have her channel linked in the description, and I think that fruit bowl idea is just so genius. So yeah, I was pretty excited to use that in this build, and I actually just used it in an apartment that I did, and I might have used it another time. I don't know. I've been building like crazy lately, so everything is kind of blending together, but I know I used it in the apartment I just finished. But yeah, other than that, I really just wanted to clutter up the kitchen with lots of decorations, make it feel lived in and fully decorated and cluttered. And I really like what I did over here with the shelf. I've seen tons of people do really interesting like shelf work with not only like the shelves in game and this cutting board that I used, but like all sorts of different objects, but they create lots of cool like custom built-ins using the tool mod. And so I tried my hand at doing something very simple, but I really want to get more creative with it because like I've said before, with the tool mod, there's like endless possibilities. And even though it's a mod, you don't have to worry about it. If you're on console, you can still download the builds. The changes will still be there. You don't need the mod for those changes to take place. But if you're on a PC and you want the mod, then it is available for you guys to download. Hopefully at some point, mods and custom content will become available to console players. I think that would be so amazing. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But anyways, that's it for the whole kitchen area. And then over here is going to be the living room. So like I said, I felt like the living room really captured the modern feel that I was trying to go for. And I think that's because of, well, the big sliding glass door feels very modern, but also the couches that I end up using these sectionals that came from Dream Home Decorator, and they're just more of a modern style. So I felt like it just kind of, it added a bit more of that modern feel that I wanted it to have. And I used it in these green colors because I just love the green. It's so pretty. And I felt like it tied into the exterior kind of nicely. And yeah, other than that, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do to like fill in the space in the living room, but I had these like empty spaces on both sides of the fireplace. So I used these really nice skinny bookcases that came from Base Game and I placed them there. And I felt like this looked really nice because it felt more like a full built-in like unit in the house. And yeah, I thought it looked pretty nice. And I cluttered up with a few different decorations. I cluttered up the top of the mantel with some decorations. And then other than that, in the living room, I have a couple of plants, some artwork. I really also liked using the basket of like cushions and blankets that came from Cottage Living because one of them has a pumpkin on it and it just suited like the fall theme so much. Like I didn't want to go crazy with the fall decorations because I didn't want it to be like only usable during fall. Like you could use this house any time of year, it just happens to have more of like a fall color scheme in general to the whole house, but you could easily go through and add like harvest decorations for Harvest Day. Is that what it's called in game? The Sims version of Thanksgiving? Harvest Fest. Is that what it's called? I think it is. Either way, yeah, something like that. So you could add decorations that suit that holiday or spooky day, or just add pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns around just for like a general fall sort of feel. So you could easily customize it is my point anyways. But over here is going to be one of the downstairs bathrooms. It's a very simple bathroom. So one of the updates that did take place before I did this build was the refresh to Spa Day, but we also got a few updates to some base game items. So like the robe and the towel that I just placed in there, we got tons new colors to those, and they're all so pretty and just soft and like neutral. And I just really love the color palette that they went with for those because they're just so much more usable, and the green just matched the color scheme that I was going for. So I was so excited. But anyways, over here is going to be the dining room. So like I mentioned, it has a full dining table, but I was thinking earlier that I mentioned there was 8 seats at it, but I only placed 6, but you could place 8 if you would like to. So there is room for it, but I think I just felt like it was a bit too crowded. But in here, I of course put a few decorations up on top of the table itself. There's that high back chair that came from Cats and Dogs. I use it pretty much in every single build that it will suit any sort of traditional build, even one like this. It's like a hybrid traditional modern sort of interior. That chair just works so nicely and it looks so cozy. I really like it. But yeah, I also used this cabinet that came from Jungle Adventure. Yes, that's the pack it came with. And I cluttered it up. I also put a china cabinet over in the corner. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then over here is going to be the entryway. So the entryway, of course, I'm just adding entryway clutter, like a backpack and some like sports clutter. And I'm also using that coat rack that has all of the winter coats that came from Snowy Escape. I really wish that that would have came on more of a simple coat rack, just like, even if it was just like the hooks on the walls rather than mounted on skis. I still end up using it because it's better than the base game one, and I like the color options are nice, but it just seems so like theme specific. I wish it was more of just like a general decor item because it would be so much more usable. Even though I do end up using it, it would just look a little bit better if it was just the hooks on the walls. So yeah, hopefully we will get something that's maybe like that in the future, that's a little bit more simpler to use and not tied to, you know, skis or a big shelf or something. But yeah, anyways, this is the other downstairs bathroom that I quickly decorated. Not that exciting, but it looks really nice. It's probably actually my favorite bathroom in the whole build, even though I decorated it pretty quickly. But anyways, there are a few items disappeared for some reason when I put wallpaper in the garage. See, I don't know, I was having a lot of issues with that. Hopefully that issue has been fixed since I was having problems here in this build, but I think it has, because the last couple of builds that I've been doing, I haven't noticed it, but in this one, it just happened all the time. But over here is going to be the garage space. So like I was saying, I wanted it to feel like a garage, so I was picking decorations that I felt like suited the garage, but I also wanted it to be functional. So there's the washer and dryer in here. There's the woodworking table. Of course, you could customize it and put like workout equipment in here, or, you know, extend the house and have like a whole home office or another bedroom or a grandparent suite or something. You could easily do a lot of different things in here, but I just love actually making garages. I know a lot of people want cars in the game. The only reason I would want cars is because I know we would get a lot more garage stuff if we had cars, unless they made garages like more of a work like the walk-in closets or something that came from Get Together. Like if they just snapped into a room and then a car would come out of them, but your Sims could never actually go in them. That would be pretty sad, and I would still just build garages like this because I think they actually look pretty good. So I'm not too bothered by it, but either way, I just put a car in the garage. Like I said, I was pretty excited about that because it feels like an actual garage. And then over here is going to be the upstairs hallway leading to the bedrooms. And up here, I just have a few decorations just to kind of fill in the space, but really I didn't want to add too many things because it's a hallway and I more just want your Sims to be able to walk through here easily. But I think I filled in the space really nicely. I added some artwork. I have this side table where I put like a few decorations. There's also a walk-in closet. And then here I'm picking out the wallpapers for the different bedrooms. And I really love the way I decorated each of the rooms. I was trying to more stick with like color themes in this build rather than thinking of personalities. But of course with the kids, I started thinking about like their personalities and things that they would like, especially the teenagers room and the kids room. I really sort of like tried to pick out decorations that I thought suited their personalities. But unfortunately for the toddler and the parents, I didn't think too much about their personalities, but I really think any family could live here. But yeah, this is going to be the parents' bedroom. So in here, I of course wanted it to match the rest of the house. So I used the same curtains that I used in a couple places throughout the house. And I also used this bed from Seasons because I felt like the gold color on the bed looked so pretty, and like the browns, and it just suited like the whole theme I was going for. And then over here I have a couple of wardrobes, I guess you could call it. I also put a bookcase in here, and I used an ottoman from Dream Home Decorator just under the mirror. I imagine they could sit there and put on their shoes and then look at themselves in the mirror and make sure they were ready for their day. So yeah, I thought that was pretty nice. I also liked using that painting from Dream Home Decorator over there. I thought that looked pretty nice. And then I do have an ensuite bathroom. The ensuite bathroom is very similar to the rest of the bathrooms in this build. Pretty much all of the bathrooms I used the same decorations, just kind of put them in different combinations, in different layouts, but they're essentially all the same room. But I'm really happy to be able to fit so many bathrooms in here because I feel like that's one thing that can be kind of left out sometimes. But yeah, over here is going to be the teenagers room. So at first I was thinking about using this large bed because I feel like that makes it feel more like a teen's room sometimes. But I don't know, I just didn't like how much space it was taking up and it felt a little bit awkward. So I decided to go with bunk beds instead. And so like I was saying, I think just one teen lives in this room, but you could easily have two if that's, you know, suits your family, or if that's what you imagine, or you could have two kids in here. Totally doesn't matter. But I was thinking that this teen really loves Mount Komorebi and they want to live there someday. They are not of any origin from Mount Komorebi. I mean, of course they could be if that's the family you have living here, but I imagined that this teen wants to move there. They love everything about their culture. And so I tried to pick out decorations that kind of suited that idea. And I just used a lot of stuff from Snowy Escape. And I think it looks so cute in here. And I also went for a yellow and green color scheme. It felt more of like a brighter fall theme, because I feel like it still feels very fall in here. Like the greens and the yellows still feel fall, but it's brighter and summerier in a way. It's like a warmer version of fall. So kind of like fall here, it's like still 90, 100 degrees every day. And it's nearly October. I'm so ready for it to cool down. But yeah, in here I have a computer desk. I decided to clutter it up, of course, with a few different decorations. I gave this teen a laptop. And yeah, I basically just tried to find decorations that suited the personality of them liking Snowy Escape. Or Mount Komorebi rather. So yeah, they want to move there. I figured they like snowboarding or they liked skiing. I was thinking snowboarding. I also sized up those skateboards to kind of pretend that they were snowboards instead of skateboards. They still kind of look like skateboards, but we can pretend. Of course, there are snowboards that came from Snowy Escape, so you could easily put one in your Sims inventory, and maybe they could go there on vacation. Maybe they begged their parents to go there and they end up taking them. That could be pretty cool. But anyways, over here is going to be the toddler's room. So their room, it's very small. It's very toddler sized. It'll be a bit cramped when they age up and need a larger bed, but it won't be too bad. But anyways, in here, I just tried to find decorations that suited an orange and blue color scheme. And basically that was my only focus, but I think I made it work and I think it's super cute. And yeah, I don't use this toddler bed in this color swatch very often, so I was pretty happy to use it. It's actually dinosaur themed, so maybe I should have gone for a dinosaur theme in this room, but I'm actually glad that I didn't, because I did a dinosaur theme room in the other suburban home that I have coming up very soon. So it would be even more repetitive if it had like a similar room and then the same color of exterior. So at least I didn't do that. But anyways, yeah, I just tried to find decorations that I thought like worked in here. I really hope at some point we get more artwork and stuff for toddlers and babies. Like a whole like nursery theme pack would be so nice, because I kind of struggle when it comes to decorating toddler rooms, because I want it to like suit their personalities, but so many things look like they would be in like a kid's room or a teen's room or even like, you know, an adult space, and not so many things specific for toddlers. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we get like another family oriented pack, or even just like a tiny like kit that's just based on kids' rooms and toddler rooms. I wouldn't mind if it was purely decorative. Of course, I want updated babies at some point, and I know everybody does, but I more just want the decor. But anyways, yeah, here I added these nice little shelves. It came from Dream Home Decorator. I love how this one has the open space, and yeah, I just cluttered it up with like a few different toys. There's also I think a frog on the side of it, which is super cute. And I just had a lot of fun with it. This room is actually kind of mismatched now that I look back at it, but I really like it, and I think it's pretty appropriate for a toddler, because they're still figuring themselves out. And I mean, the room would probably actually be decorated the way the parents would decorate it if this was real life, but I think it's fun this way. But yeah, here I'm just adding the final few decorations to this room, and then I move on to the kids' room, and the kids' room is so fun. At first, I thought about going a completely different direction than I was going to originally, because originally I had this pink wallpaper, and then I switched it over to blue, and then I was gonna do like a blue and black sort of theme. But then I placed this nightstand and I decided to go back to the pink, and I went for a completely colorful, bright, and kind of loud room, I guess you could say. But I was just imagining that this is for a very artistic child, and so they love artwork, they love drawing and being creative, and I imagine that, I don't know, that they express themselves in their room. So I tried to find decorations that really suited that personality type, and I had so much fun with this room. It's probably my favorite out of all of the rooms in the house, just because it has so much personality. I also really like the teens room, but I don't know, I think this room is just decorated a little bit better. But you guys can let me know which one is your favorite. But I did give them a arts and crafts table. I used the one that came from My First Pet Stuff, and I thought it looked so cute over here next to this shelf that came from Discovery University. I thought they just looked nice oriented like this. I don't know if you guys will agree, but then placed next to each other like that, I thought this looks super cute. And then other than that, I just tried to find artwork and posters and things that looked kind of cutesy and girly and like a creative child would like them, or maybe even drew them or made them themselves. And so yeah, I think I did pretty good. I especially liked using the Seasons crafts above the bed. I sized them up using the tool mod just slightly because I wanted them to take up more space, but I thought that looked super cute above the bed. And then over here I just have a couple of posters and then a little wall hanging, and then that's it for that bedroom. And then the last room that I decorate is this bathroom, which is the fourth and final bathroom of the build. And of course it's like all of the other ones, just kind of shuffled around a little bit different with the furniture, but it has all the same items. But anyways, this is basically it for the build. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to those other builds that I was talking about, and hopefully you guys enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. They kinda tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are and the way we lose it. There's something different about us, and the reason why we stay. We fly around like paper planes. They never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about us. There's something different about us. We're pouring cup after cup after cup. Yeah, it's just the way we do it. Anything just to block out the real life, real life. Yeah, we're loving the way they think we're so messed up. Even if what we're doing is bad, there's so many emotions. Sharing stories that we never had, yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes. They never know where we will fall. Nobody can see us, still they wanna tear us apart. There's something different about the way we are.